Salvation, whom shall I fear? And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup runneth over. And surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. It's Thursday. Welcome to Johnny's Bites. Just so you know, later on today in the show on 3FM 92.7, on Connect FM 97.1, and also on TV3, the big launch of the Election Command Center, unparalleled analysis and all the nice things that you would have to see to make the election coverage much more accessible to you and pleasurable. When, where, and how, and why. We'll tell you about it beginning 9 a.m. this morning. So you want to tune in to 3FM and also to TV3 and connect with us on all our socials at TV3 Ghana, Connect FM on Facebook, 97.1 Takrady Pipano, and we will share the fine details with you because you're a major stakeholder in all of our election coverage activities, and you know how we have done things in the past and how we yearn for improvement every year on year. Now, yesterday, while I was away and thinking about myself and how to get better to come and serve you this morning, I chanced on a letter from the Ministry of Finance in response to the Agric Ministry's request to go into the contingency fund to go and take some monies to be able to sort farmers out. And then I quickly asked myself three simple questions. You know, at the inception of this government, right? At the inception of this government, there were initiatives that were put out there which we all applauded. I did on so many occasions. We had planting for food and jobs. We had rearing for food and jobs. We had planting for export and rural development, if you have forgotten. So it's not just planting for food and jobs. We had rearing for food and jobs, which was for livestock, etc. And then we had planting for export and rural development. And then we said we're going to use the produce from these farms, okay, to have and to feed factories. Never mind that the Achampon regime had Operation Feed Yourself, Operation Feed Your Industries. Never mind that we have had that before. But it looks like it. And then we also said that we're going to dedicate money, which we did, to construct dams. And an initiative we called One Village, One Dam, because we had identified the problem of rainfall patterns and different things at different times. So we said we are going to ensure that we have an avenue or means to irrigate, so that when we do the irrigation, we will not have to go back and talk about what the problems we're talking about. If we had the irrigation ongoing, if we had done that well. So I said, okay, now we have this problem on our hands. These are problems that the Edward Carrawes, the Professor Cantons and the rest, they've spoken about, Charles Nyaba and the rest. We've had conversations. In fact, when they started talking about these things, they were called names. I remember Carrawes telling me, for example, that there've been an instance where we are not harvesting enough. We are not planting enough. We are not harvesting enough. And that by this trip, August, September, October, we should actually be harvesting enough to store so that the first quarter of the year would have a smooth sail. If you listen to the farmers and you listen to those who are on the ground, they will tell you that we are not harvesting enough, which means that there could be danger ahead. And this is not the first time we are banning the exportation of grains. Under this government, we have done it before. So the question that Dr. Ishmael Yamson asked, that we spent monies on planting for food and jobs, the food did not come, the jobs did not come, is a legitimate question. Because if you remember also, 2018, 2019, and I think subsequently in 2021 or 2, the president had gone to parliament to suggest that in the State of the Nation address, that because of planting for food and jobs, Ghana is now a net exporter of food. The Ghana Statistical Service has consistently challenged that position, saying that, look, we are importing everything, including cassava, including fish, including, name them. In fact, at the time when the president made the claim that we're net exporter of food, the tomato importers were up at the border saying that if they do not get security, plans and arrangements for them, they will stop importing their tomatoes and onions and the rest. We know that when the unrest in the West African sub-region started, we were even told about Kotodwe and all those things that we may not be getting them. So the reality on the ground versus the narrative that is pushed into official records in parliament, etc., and speeches are totally different and at variance. Then you remember also that we have had a situation where we said we're building warehouses. So question this morning is, where are the dams? Because your dams are supposed to provide water when you do not have water, but the dams themselves have become thirsty. Planting for food and jobs. Where is the food? Where are the jobs? Planting for export and rural development. We are banning exportation. One village, one dam. One community, one warehouse. Now we are asking for 500 million. Now put the chart up there. Know the factory for your district. One district, one factory. We put up a whole, a whole chart. One district, one factory. We put up a whole chart to tell every single community or every single district that this is the raw material you have in abundance. Please put it up. You have in abundance, and this is the factory we're going to put up for you. And these factories were supposed to have been fed from planting for food and jobs. So let's go back, because it doesn't actually make meaning if all we do is to announce things, put a slogan to it, right? And then toss money at it, and then we don't come back to do proper retrospective analysis of the issues, and then we come. Now we're asking for money. The monies we are asking for now, they obviously will not plant the food today and harvest tomorrow. If you know the gestation period of the basics that we eat, maize, rice, sorghum, soya, millet, tomatoes, onions, the basics, you won't be suggesting to anybody that, well, we will have a situation where what we are planting now will be ready when we actually need them. No. So we have a big problem on our hands, and we need people to come forward. Even so, now that the money is being asked, there's some videos I want to play for you. Now that the money is being asked, there's the agency, and now we are suddenly being told about, oh, the people don't understand what is going on and the rest. If you are told the people that all is well, and that what the experts and the farmers on the ground are telling you is not what the case is, how do you suddenly come back with a problem that is big as this magnitude? And you go around the Volta Lake, right? You go around the Volta Lake, you go around all the rivers and the water bodies that we have, beyond how we have sat and watched and supervised Galamsey destroy everything that we have, even though we have also pumped money into Galamsey to fight Galamsey. And names have been mentioned, and none of them has been held to it. Beyond that, are we suggesting that all the technocrats we have, we cannot engage the technocrats to say, can we have an irrigation plan so that we don't come talking about this last minute quick fix approach to trying to get us all food? Can we have that frank conversation beyond politicization and equalization and explaining away people's predicament with PR and English? Can we do that? I want to take you. See, there's the Prime Minister of Netherlands, set for 14 years. Mr. Rutte, play the video for me.
Ziens allemaal. Hoi hoi. Leuk, ja.
there for 14 years. He didn't say that give me the official vehicle that I have. And some of these days, it has become, we have normalized how people go on retirement and they don't want to go home and they hang on to their positions. And then they say that, oh, we are looking for a contract extension. I have contract extension. And I've given you a tall list. And then now we have also normalized how people leave office and they hold on to vehicles. I've given you a tall list. And then now we have also normalized how people are supposed to be serving us, but they end up lording themselves over us and they don't even listen to us. I told you, there's a tall list. You see the Netherlands where we go and beg them for money. You see their prime minister. He's leaving office on a bicycle. Humility personified on a bicycle. In our country, it will never happen. Now we're asking for money. The last time I remember Felicity Tete, NPP parliamentary candidate for Sonarugu, second vice chairman. She said that at the time when we had COVID-19 and people were dying and people were hungry and how we fed people in Accra, Kumasi, Kaswa and Tema and created the impression that for the 3 weeks we were feeding the entire country and the entire country was on a lockdown. Free water, free electricity. She herself said that she received 100,000 cedis of COVID money for party things. 100,000 cedis of COVID money when we were at our lowest. When Honorable Kennedy Japan and Dr. Baumia were both looking for the flag bearership of the NPP, there were a series of press conferences that were held. In one of those press conferences, $1 million per constituency that was promised to us, which is supposed to be for the good of the constituencies across the country, 276 now. The constituencies. 20% of that money, according to another MPP bigwig, was supposed to have gone to the party, right, through Chairman Wontumi. He dared Chairman Wontumi to come and account for those monies because he said that the MPP office at the time was dilapidated, etc., etc. So when you have, as Felicity Tete said, and these are not small boys in the party, big boys and big girls, said, I got 100,000 of COVID money, which was supposed to be used to save lives, stop infections and the spread of infections and all of that. I got 100,000 of it. Then another person too said, oh, the 1 million per constituency that we're supposed to have had, 20% was supposed to have come to the party for every constituency. Now let's ask the regional chairman to come and account for it. When you suddenly hear that somebody wants, I think 8-point-something billion, you say, oh, we can't. We can only give you 500 million. You start asking the questions in an election year, because COVID was in an election year. You remember that? In an election year, are these monies also going to be used for the same purposes? Are we going to see them in private hands instead of the reason that we are applying for the money? The Bagri Dam has been spilled. There's a farmer reality, somebody who farms in the Volta region. There's a Facebook post like that, where he's talking to us about what is happening in the Volta region. Not any of the regions of the north, no. He's talking about what is happening in the Volta region. And the Volta region was not part of the list that, was put out there to salvage. Solomon Green. Let's read him together. He says, this is not northern Ghana. It is one of our farms in Ho in the Volta region. The rains are not coming. Check the sizes of the new yams and it will give a clue as to what is happening. An acre of cassava is now 13,000 plus. Did you also notice okra has been cheap? This has not been cheap this year. The tomatoes you are seeing around, farmers are not able to plant new ones. So remember, northern Ghana has only one farming season. It is almost gone. Rice fields needs at least 2 to 3 months of good rains, and we are almost in September. if the rains didn't come by the first, or don't come by the first week in September, then let's abreast ourselves for. He puts ellipses there, as they say, and my Saito school. So this is somebody who is on the ground. These people were ignored when they spoke. They were called names. I remember when the buffer stock people had their back and forth with the school feeding caterers, etc., and the suppliers. We were told that there was enough food in the buffer stock. No. We were told that we had enough food stored, that people were playing politics and doing PR with it, propaganda. Now breeze blow, foul nyash the show. Breeze don't blow, foul nyash the show. So why can't we for a second just pause and say, as for this one, it is in the national interest. As for this one, it affects all of us. As for this one, it affects the price of a ball of kinky or a bowl of banku or a bowl of TZ. As for this one, we will not politicize it. As for this one, we will have to talk about it and ask the questions. As for this one, when somebody talks about it, we should not call their names. As for this one, we got it wrong. We are sorry. We apologize. As for this one, we have spent money on the wrong things. We are sorry. As for this one. But no. I'm asking simply this morning, one village, one dam. You heard our Kumsin. She said the monies that were given to it there, she could only do dugouts. We had a whole launch for it. We took a lectern and microphones and went there, camera and media. We had media engagement. We were speaking impeccable English, fluent and lucid English. Today, the dams themselves are thirsty. The dams are thirsty. The dams, they are thirsty. We all applauded. But what is our irrigation plan? In the case of drought, or in the season of drought, what the farmers need is not PR and Takashi. No. What the farmers need is not PR and Takashi. What the farmers need is water to water their farms. What you and I need are the produce from the farms that the farmers will bring. In any serious country, you know what would have happened. But because we are not a serious people, we have normalized these things. And I'm telling you that we have normalized so many things that it will come back to hurt us, because one of the areas that we cannot politicize is our agriculture. I've always given you 5 areas. Your security, your economy, the health of your people, your education of the people, and agriculture. 5 areas. Unfortunately, we have perfected the art of politicizing everything. 2 weeks ago, when I spoke about the broken lifts at Kolebu, what wasn't I called? People said, oh, it's Toli. Today, the boss himself is telling you that we have postponed surgeries because the lift is spoiled. And I said, you and I, we don't have money to go and pick passports and travel out. So our best bet is Kolebu. Our best bet is Stage 7. Our best bet is Konfanochi. Our best bet is Ifya Kwanta. Our best bet is the whole teaching hospital. Our best bet is Accra Regional Hospital. Our best bet, those are our best bets. Go there and go and check. Oxygen, sometimes common oxygen. Nurses have to use their own fuel. Orderlies have to use their own fuel to go and look for common oxygen, because you are on the oxygen. That's what is keeping you alive. If it's finished and it's gone, you will die. Simple. Simple. Common oxygen. And people have to look for it. When you say it, they say, oh, no. You hate me. You don't like me. I don't hate you. The families of the people who come to die there because of our inconsistencies and because of our inadequacies, how do you explain to them? The children who may be orphaned because of those situations, how do you explain it to them? If somebody is a breadwinner, how do you explain it to them? The rains delayed. So the farmers delayed in tilling the dirt and planting their seed. Now the dam has been spilled. They are harvesting crops that are not grown because they just can't watch their investments go bad. And then we come back to say, oh, we are going to put together money to go and give to them. Do you remember that in COVID, we had NBSSI loans which later became GEA. Check. Some of the people have been WhatsApping and sending things that they applied for those loans. They never got them, but they have been sent forms to fill to confirm that they received the monies. Where are the monies? I said we are in an election year. When you see politicians talking about such big monies, there's procurement in there and there's chop in there. We have paid for COVID vaccines over 81 million or so that we have not received. You know that. Sputnik V Chobo, when we were having a health crisis and there was a global pandemic, Sputnik V Chobo, we engaged in it. Nobody has been punished for it. I'm telling you, Felicity Tete, she said, I got 100,000 of COVID money. And she's the one who is bold enough to come and say, there are others who might have received, but they can't come because she said she wanted to clear her name. $1 million per constituency. There are people who benefited from it, who got money, and they are asking questions of regional chairmen to come and explain themselves and account for the cash. So must we always create a scheme? In fact, this one is not even create, loot and share, as Justice Jones Totish said. This one is loot and share, loot and share, loot and share. I want to remind you, 9 a.m. we'll have the launch here. But please keep these numbers and call me now, please. 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. You may not like me, but like what I say. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
This is Collins.
I'm Omole. Great.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me.
Etonka, Eniaji Papa.
Adom.
Akupo Israel. The so by Yalepa with tip and a bepayo. Papa. Esema Wokano. And credit to some of the catch of the Ghana. Wokano credit pet. Not at the town. Then so I said, we are shall see a tago. Here will Jana some NDC. It's similar Woka a reality. In the one district, one factory, $1 million per constituency. 8 years in a COVID. About when you are COVID, 44,000 Tisicano, 440 billion. And yet today, in there, what's up, Bassy, a Dianico short. It is Jessica Chichi, yeah, more, you know, about with me, it's in my phone, ball. We are suffering, Johnny, we are suffering. In the cocoa. So the solar pay na court no oko 10 cedi obi be kasi o say you open no it's reality. Yes, you take cocoa 2 cedi 3 cedi no 4 cedi upward in the buy the better back we say 60 cedi for the kufa do ni pa o mi afese o mo di Ghana do and you mo chiri Ghana for mo ma ye sorry ni kasa
Medasi, thank you very much. Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, Haja.
Yes, dear.
How are you?
Yesterday we prayed for you, Kitty.
Thank you. I'm grateful.
We didn't see you, no.
I'm grateful. Thank you so much.
Inshallah, may Allah continue to uplift you.
Amen.
Mr. Hughes. Ghana ayemobo. Nye ekosu nyina afa John Hughes nkwa na enimo. Afa Ghana ni bia enkotru nia ACO. Afa Ghana ni bia enwo because se me hu amanfo social media. Chanting, campaigning, say, young vote to Massa way to break the eight. And yeah, Mintia says, oh no, come marketer. And then by then, I'm limited about 50 Ghana, no, turn to Sidiana. Media, Bra, Madina Nabeshania, MP in opposition. Well, won't say by way any vision Pia Edima Madina for Nyamia do 31st of this month, or yet Teachers Award. Teachers Award, as I say, Abaya, and the boost to teachers Morano, and ne empty the so any diano, or no, or the car and Emma first runner. First winner, Toyota Vitz, brand new tier rubber. Second winner, Susubeji, brand new motorbike. Third winner, Beji fridge, Kakraka, fridge, standing one, no, this freezer, any fridge. Sana Oyama, this is the second time I hear. Ono wanya $1 million to constituency nibio. Wanya COVID funds. And Ghana for me catch mo. Obi abetima boamo. And he says on Dramani Mahama.
Thank you very much. Grateful. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir, Maestro. Oh. I saying.
And then it's first time
Mr. Usho is so.
Right.
To me, was that, oh, yeah, and